But here we are, mate. We are diving in to our first series.
Indeed. And well, representing at the... Oh my god, I was gonna say... Okay, representing at the top left corner. He is the Blue Protoss player. Does he play for a team?
No,
He's teamless. Oh my god. Okay, he is MCanning.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Lightshade LE, we have the Canadian Protoss player. He's red, representing team License to Kill. It is Maplez.
Oh my god. I think this is the first time I don't see both players cannon rushing at Protoss. It's insane.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing because in my mind, Maplez...
Oh no, what? Actually, Maplez is using his reputation as a cannon rusher to make a mind game. And it's working out because there's a lot of probes that are not mining right now. But Maplez is gonna cancel it. This is gonna delay a little bit, but you know, both players are still fine. Nothing very crazy at all from both players. But I love that Maplez is already like telling MCanning, this is not gonna be a normal game. You know, this is NA.
Exactly. Like I 100% agree with what you were saying. Like in my mind, Maplez, like he cannon rushes every other game, and we see the economy spike in favor of Maplez after that little bit of a cheeky mind game. Or even a cheeky spray as well.
Oh yeah, both players are like, they are already saying to each other, you know, I'm gonna win this. It's gonna be nasty. It's not gonna be a clean game. It's gonna be pure luck. You know, that's kind of like PvP in NA, because sometimes you can be a player who's got the better technique, who's got the better micro, better decision making. But if I go, for example, for a Blink Stalker all in, and the other player goes for a DT rush, although I'm cessed, if I don't have detection, I die. And that's literally pure luck. There's nothing, it's out of your control. So PvP got this element that there are some things that are out of your control, and the only thing that you can do to avoid this is to play standard, to go for the 2 gate, to get that robotics bay or the Stargate. If you go directly into Twilight, you're already gambling unless you were able to scout. But it's hard to scout in PvP, so this is a very interesting game, and MCanning is going very safe. Very standard play. Both players really respect each other. That's what I'm seeing right now, because the expansions are very late, but the mind games are so damn difficult to assimilate that instead of thinking about what the other player is doing, they're just gonna play it safe, and I love it. Because both are doing the same.
Exactly. Like something that we didn't get to say because we did kind of just jump straight into the cast itself is that this is day 1 of oh my god, oh my god, he's being faked out. Oh, the hallucination comes in, and MCanning once again, he's terrified, mate.
Yeah, they are both terrifying. And what I love about this is that Maplez is the one that's dominating the psychological game in a much better, efficient strategy. He already let MCanning know that he's gonna cannon rush if he wants to or not, that he can go for an oracle and not be doing that. You know, the chances of DTs, the chances of phoenixes, there's so many variables in this PvP. You just don't know what the opponent is doing until you scout. So Maplez is now the player who's dominating, and MCanning, although he's got more probes, he's now gonna be able to scout with the adepts, but he needs to do something else, you know, because Maplez is doing a very nice build with Blink Stalkers, and this is gonna be able to make him take control of the map. And I'm very scared, you know, for MCanning. Oh, but look at this play.
There we go. Finally, we do see the adepts shade into the natural base. A couple of probes go down, or a lot of lost mining time as well. So finally, MCanning is able to achieve something on the map here, other than the mind games that we've been seeing so far.
Yeah, and the energy from the sentries, it was also a very nice play. Now he's not going to be able to get phoenixes in time. He's going to have to wait for 15 more seconds. And that is key because you have to know when the opponent is getting the third Nexus, or if he's going to get 4 gates, if he's going to get perhaps a Twilight right now, how many gases does he have in the natural. That information is key, and Maplez does not have it, and he's moving, he's gambling to see if he can deny the third base, and it's
Yo.
starting to work out because
Yeah.
this gamble, yeah, he's, you know, nice.
Yeah, it's beautifully done, mate. He's gonna dive in, even hallucinates a couple of Stalkers, because why the hell not? He will force a cancel on this third base. As MCanning just scouted, there is no third for Maplez. Maplez, he's just diving straight on in. Blink is about to finish up in a couple of seconds.
Yeah, and did you see what Maple is doing behind this? He had 3 adepts that are scouting across the map in such a beautiful way.
Oh, yeah.
And I loved it. There are actually 2 adepts. I thought the other one wasn't an adept too. But you know what I'm saying. He's really taking control over the map. He's putting up the pressure. He's delaying the third base. And now he's getting his own. And I love it. Although he's a little bit behind in macro, he's got the initiative. And that's the most important thing in this PvP.
Exactly, and with the help of these adepts as well, he's just keeping MCanning at home, keeping him scared, as we saw. But MCanning, mate, he's not going to take this lying down, okay? You know, he's MCanning, mate. He is Captain America. He is going for a Dark Shrine.
Because why not? These guys, you don't have to think in PvP when you play against these guys, because if you start to think in a rational way, you die.
Yeah.
You know? You see a bunch of stalkers and the game ends up winning with a Zealot all in, you know, charge all in. And it's like, what? How? When? Why would you do that? It doesn't make sense. But it's NA. Welcome to NA. That's how things work out. And now finally MCanning is going to start doing his third Nexus, but he's already behind in terms of economy, but his technology is very well decent. His immortals are going to be a key factor in Maplez's army composition.
Definitely, definitely. The other really cute thing that happened as well when Maplez was scouting with his adept is that MCanning actually hallucinated an extra immortal to make it seem like he was continuing that immortal production as well. So again, like I just love the mind games that these two players have been doing against each other. Quickly checking the detection, Maplez does have his robo on the way, so he will have an observer available once the DTs come out across the map.
One thing I'm very curious is that Maplez only has 3 gases, which means he's gonna be focusing on getting a lot of gateway units. And that really impresses me. And now that the Ts are starting to come to the game, let's see if the first T is gonna be able to at least get a single probe. It's not gonna happen. Unluckily, everything's under control by Maplez and the observers already on the map. So MCanning, oof, he's in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, exactly. The DTs are not paying for themselves yet. There's always an opportunity later on, especially if he decides to go into, I don't know, Blink DTs or something crazy like that. But at least the DTs are still alive for now. They're still providing some detection as MCanning is trying to take a 4th base behind this. Maplez not too far behind, but could be denied by this DT.
Indeed, and the DT is actually going to start moving across the 4th base, and it's gonna be able to at least be annoying to force Maplez to do something about it. And you know, it's kind of like every time these type of moves start to get on, you're scared, because if you move your whole army just to get that single DT, perhaps the Protoss is starting to attack your natural, and if that happens, oh, that's gonna be like bad, you know. But unluckily for our friend MCanning, he's not gonna be able to snipe the Nexus, but it was very close. And well, let's see how it's going so far.
Oh yeah, mate, that was like one swipe away. Like that was that was insanely close. As you were saying, I was like, oh my god, I was clenching so hard. But the 4th base does finish up, or it is going to finish up for Maplez. We do see, I love it, MCanning staying on top of his tech, being the first one to start working towards disruptors with his robotics bay on the way. Meanwhile, Maplez, again, he's still trying to catch up. As you were saying, he was relying a lot more on gateway units until now, and I'm a little bit worried if he will just rely on nothing but them. Oh.
Yeah, this game's starting to be difficult to see who's got the advantage, because both players already had 4th bases. So it actually comes down to the decision making, to what's gonna happen next. Both players are playing like this Cold War, a scenario in which any move can influence the possible victory. Both
Mhm.
players are getting the same technology, the same upgrades, almost the same army composition. So it's starting to get scary because any bad move can be the decisive move from who's gonna be winning this game.
Yeah, like I am still really concerned for Maple just because I do feel like there's going to be a big timing here for MCanning, where like he's again getting 2 disruptors at a time. We still don't have that tech for Maples. It was delayed, like the robotic space still not done. So there's going to be a pretty big window where MCanning can maybe make something happen with his disruptors. It's going to be on Maples to try and delay that for as long as possible. This is such a ballsy gateway, by the way. Oh my god.
Policy indeed, and actually McCanning doesn't know anything about this, and
Yeah.
he's getting his fit base on the way, and I love it. He's already deciding that, if I'm gonna keep being in this game, I think I'm gonna have to start thinking about the next step. And unluckily, the DTs are gonna be able to scout that. We and yeah, the pylon with the proxy gate is gonna be denied. But look, Maple already knows about the presence of this army in the fourth base, so he's gonna be able to position in a very well place. And let's see what's gonna happen.
Yeah, we do see Maples rotating over here. He does have the shield batteries, the cannons, and the overcharge. The first disruptor does not connect, but there's one more Nova available for MCanning.
Yeah, and look, he's hallucinating
Oh,
disruptors. Ooh, but lovely. Those are only hallucinated disruptors. Imagine if it was a real one. I will be dying. But it was a very good offense by McCanning, and Maples is going to be able to get those 4 DTs up in the main base of McCanning. They are going to be really annoying. And look at the disruptor! Oh my god, what a nice shot! And this game is starting to get more intense every single second.
Yeah, exactly. The DTs at home are going to be dealt with. Thankfully, there were cannons all over the place for MCanning, so the DTs did nothing. The War Prison went down as well. Meanwhile, the counter DTs, the disruptor shot is going to clean them up. Oh my god. But MCanning, oh, he's still going. He's still going for the base.
Oh yeah, and I don't understand why Maples has such low army supply. Both players have been almost mining the same amount of time, so there must be some mistake out of Maples, and McCanning is approaching this with such a nice micro with the disruptors. He's abusing the fact that he's got more army supply.
Exactly. At the same time, he goes for that run by. As you were saying, Maples just doesn't have enough to split and defend both places at once. Meanwhile, finally, Maples has his own disruptors, but they're exposed. The first shot doesn't connect, and MCanning still has so much momentum. Oh my god!
Oh, no, that was so close, but look at the other shots. They are the ones that McCanning needed in order to penetrate the defense at the fourth base. And oh, that was a nice shot from Maples too, but I don't think it's gonna be enough.
Yeah, exactly. There's just too much here for MCanning. Sure, a couple of shots go off in favor of Maples, but the last disruptor gets focused down. This base will fall. The entire mineral line at the third base went down as well, and look at all these charge lots coming across the map to reinforce.
Yeah, Maple's got so many minerals banking.
Yeah.
He's not producing any gateway units. It was so weird. I thought he was gonna be able to at least put up a fight. In what sense? He had the production,
Yeah.
He just didn't use it, and I'm very shocked because why would you not use your production? But McCanning was able to abuse that fact. He recognized that he had much more army supply, so he started attacking at multiple fronts. And with that move and the disruptors, he was able to take the first series. So congratulations, McCanning. Let's see how the second game goes.
Yeah, GG. The one explosive game there by MCanning. That was beautiful. Especially because, like, he did have a pretty rough start. It did look like Maples was already in the head of MCanning for a lot of that, and I was getting really concerned. But we saw as the game went on, MCanning, he was able to really, like, tighten up and secure himself, and yeah, wow. I'm very impressed how he turned that around.
Yeah, I'm very impressed. I'm like, I think the correct word is shock. Like I'm in shock right now because Maples had almost the same production as McCanning, and I still don't understand what happened to him. Why did he
Yeah.
not use his gateway units? Also the upgrades. McCanning just simply had the better macro in that sense. He was able to produce more units, and he won a very clean game. You
Yeah.
know. But let's see if this second game Maples can take that aggressive aggressiveness that he had on the early mid game, in which he was able to deny the third base, to make McCanning think that it was an oracle on the way, all those sort of stuff. I want to see it again, but
Mhm.
hopefully not only on the early and mid game stage, but also on the transition into a fourth base PvP game.
Yeah. I agree. Ooh, as it looks like there was a little bit of a DC issue, but we should be good to make the next game. And yeah. I also did notice that for a while there, Maples was kind of banking up a lot of resources. I'm not too sure if maybe he was trying to bank that up and again like use that when it comes to robo units or something. Yeah, it was a little bit odd to say the least, but again, very impressive play, and I can't wait to get into the next one. It's one of those things where, mate, get used to it because we got a lot of PvPs. We got a lot of Protosses in NA, mate. It's happening.
Yeah, this is the entertaining part. Because it's a PvP, you just simply cannot predict what's gonna happen. You just don't know. Like, for example, PvC and PvT, there are strategies that can be more orthodox, but normally they are not used because there's a solid way that you can guarantee to get into a mid game in which you can buy your chances of winning against your opponent by creating a lot of problems. So there's like this solid way of playing a PvT and a PvC, which is, for example, go for Sky Toss. That's a choice. But on PvP, you can do anything. You can do anything.
Yeah.
So it's just insane the amount of opportunities that a Protoss has to kill the other Protoss because it's a mirror match. Any difference counts. Every single difference. It's just insane, especially on this level of playing when these guys already have like 6k MMR. They play all day, they train to get into this competition. I'm just excited to see what's gonna happen in this series and this next game. Hopefully McCanning can secure a 2-0, otherwise it's just gonna be more intense, more action. I think people want to see action, but
I mean, look, like, okay, like, especially because game one was like pretty macro focused, right? We got up to 4 bases, we were working on our 5th base. I would be surprised if we don't have at least one of the games today, whether it's game 2 or another series where we actually have a cannon rush or a proxy in the middle of the map, like I'd be shocked, mate. I'd be shocked.
Yeah, shout out to Sosa and Luciano, guys on the chat. Hello. They wanted the attention, so there you go. You have it now. And yeah, Maples is a very tough guy to play against on ladder. So that's why I was saying I'm shocked to see him not doing basic stuff, which is producing constantly. He was not able to do that basic tip that can make you a top grandmaster. I know he's got that, but we just didn't see it on this game.
I assume that it has something to do with I assume it may even come down to nerves. I do know because I was lucky enough to cast Maples in the qualifiers. He was so excited to actually make it through and qualify for the first time for the main event. Like even though he's been around for a long time at the highest level, like laddering and competing, he wasn't able to be here in DreamHack. So yeah, it's his first time here. Hopefully he can shake off those nerves and play a more straight up game. Because, mate, we finally have our lobby.
Oof. And there you go. We are going to start this second game. Hopefully, we can see Maples learn from his mistakes, be more focused. Hopefully, the nerves are not playing against him. And yeah, let's see if he's gonna be able to get a better answer against the American Protoss, the true NA, MCanning.
Oh god, let's go. I'll always remember, I think it was oh my god, it was a couple of seasons ago, maybe last year, where MCanning made it to like the main event for the first time, and he actually did well. Like he actually popped off, mate, and everyone was so surprised, like, oh my god, MCanning, he's taking it to like these players like Neeb and Estrella. It's crazy. So he's very talented.
He is talented, and I've seen his streams. He's a very good entertainer, and
Mhm.
he's a very good StarCraft 2 player. So it's hard to be both.
Uh-huh.
He's able to do that.
He's like the NA Gym Rising mate.
The American version of Jim Rising? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. So,
Uh,
representing at the top left corner, once again, we have our American Protoss, the one that all the Americans want to see. He is MCanning.
And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Romanticide LE, we have the Canadian Protoss player. He's red, representing his team, licensed to kill. It is Maplez.
And we are not seeing Forge, which is very sad because I wanted to cast a Cannon Rush. Both players always Cannon Rush on ladder. Why are they not doing it? They are respecting each other so much that I'm starting to get pissed. I want to see blood, you know? I want to see destruction, chaos.
I know, right? Like, especially when these two players specifically meet each other, that's what we want to see, but that's not what we're getting. Meanwhile, Maplez, he's scouting around, making sure there's nothing crazy going on. MCanning with a more regular probe scout.
It's gonna be a proxy pylon. I think we're going to see a
Yeah?
proxy Stargate. Please,
Oh.
please give us a proxy Stargate. Come on, mate.
This would
Go
be
for an Oracle. No.
he's not going for it. I was like, yo,
Yeah,
like this is an interesting position for a proxy Stargate if it was one. Opted not to go for it, but
Yeah, I think that the purpose of that pro. Oh wait, what? What? He's listening. He's like, hey, yo, I was gonna make the pylon on the main, but because Cristianox is saying that he wants a proxy, you know, I don't care. It's gonna be the pylon. I'm just gonna put it there. So I love it. Thank you, Maplez. You're the best. Let's see what's gonna happen because I really don't know what's going on.
no,
right now.
same. I have no idea. I've never seen a proxy pylon here of all places. Like, it's a pseudo proxy. It's still like next to the main base of Maplez. Is it going to be used? We'll see. I'm also intrigued because Maplez did mine out some of those minerals. Is that going to come into play? I don't know. Meanwhile, MCanning with his Stargate at home.
Yeah, I think that we are seeing a mind game
Mm.
from Maplez.
Yep.
It's a mind game in which you are telling the Protoss that scouting, I only have one pylon in my main base.
Yeah.
That's literally like your worst nightmare as a Protoss player. You're like, okay, where is the proxy? What tech is being played? That's you are starting to think about it the whole game, and you're like, what's happening? You know, I have to figure it out. So MCanning, as you guys can see, he's scouting around the map. He knows there's a proxy. He just wants to know where it is. But Maplez, with the mind games, he's making him work more than he should be working. You know, he shouldn't be scouting across the map, but because of this little move, he's very, you know, alert to any stimulus. You know?
Yeah. I'm just intrigued by the position of the fake proxy pylon, just because typically it's like at the edge of the map to like scout for something, right? Like so there is some use to it. But yeah, very interesting location. We'll see if it does come into play as the first Oracle is coming across the map, and it may even be scattered by the pylon. Oh my god.
Oh my god, the pylon is being
Yeah.
useful. And Maplez is across the map. He doesn't have anything to defend but the battery shield. And I think it's gonna finish on time. Oh, that was so close. But I think there's a stasis ward being placed and it's actually gonna finish. Oh my god.
Mate, how many is that? What, like 9 probe? No, sorry, 8 probe stasis? Jesus Christ. So a juicy stasis ward there by MCanning. Meanwhile, at the same time, we do have these 4 stalkers across the map. They do take out a shield battery and a pylon. Supply blocking MCanning for a little bit there.
Yeah, and that was a nice micro from Maplez. He's gonna save his stalker. And he already knows he's playing against a guy who's expanding, so there's no all-in being played. And 4 more probes are gonna be stasis, and I love it because he's putting a lot of economical pressure on. And MCanning's got the earlier Nexus. I think he's in great shape.
Yeah, definitely, but two adepts actually slip into the main base here of MCanning. He did not have a probe in position, and now a couple of these workers are going to get picked up.
Yeah, but this is the nice thing. Every time there are 2 adepts in your main and you have a battery shield, you only have to kill 1 adept. And from that point, you don't have to worry about losing probes. Because you need 2 adepts in order to one-shot a probe, otherwise they are immortal. So it's kind of like the relief you have every time you kill that one single adept. Only Protoss players can relate to what I'm saying.
It's very true, very true. Thankfully, MCanning was able to deal with those adepts, and now there's no more scouting information available for Maples. That Oracle is still alive, by the way, shocking around the map. Because MCanning went for a follow-up Void Ray, he was able to hunt down the Oracle of Maples, so he doesn't have to worry about his own.
Yeah, and the Oracle is still doing action, still being scouting. He knows about Maple's army composition. He knows what the natural, like the income that's getting on the natural because of the probe count. And I just love how MCanning is taking control of the game. It's not like a huge advantage, but he does have an advantage. And the adepts, oh my god, they almost got in. I was like, are they gonna get in the main? Seriously?
They don't get into the main, but they also delay the third base as well. They take out a probe that was going to try and throw down a pylon and set himself up. So again, MCanning, as you were saying, he does have that map control. He's just been in control for almost the entire game here so far.
Yeah, and it's I don't like a lot MCanning's tech. I think it's very double-edged, because when you get a lot of Void Rays, if it's 2 or 3 Void Rays, they are useful in the transition into mid-game. But once you get 3 bases, these Void Rays are almost useless.
Yeah.
So, and what happens when you do the Void Ray? You're investing gas that could be invested on technology. You could have Blink much earlier, you could have had the Forge much earlier, the Robotics Bay much earlier, but because you made that investment on defense, which is the Void Rays, everything's gonna be delayed. So as time goes, Maples is gonna be able to take this advantage of technology, but for now MCanning's got the better army supply. So both players have their advantages and also have their weaknesses.
Yeah, I was about to say that I feel like that just goes to show how MCanning is perceiving this game, where he probably feels like, okay, if I survive the early game, even though I'm going to be behind in terms of the tech, I feel confident enough that I can catch up regardless. So maybe it is his confidence showing off a little bit here, as you see Maples trying to apply pressure to the third base. I was really worried, again, MCanning wanting to bait in the stasis. Oh god!
God, what a move, what a move. And now Maples is gonna lose half of his army supply. I think it's almost his entire army, and these are only stalkers. And when you have Void Rays and Immortals, oh my god, these are like the better units you can ever have against only stalkers.
Yeah, exactly. We do see a blink. Okay, only a little bit of damage was dealt to them, but Maples, he's forced away, and now MCanning, he can very safely, again, get his third up and running, start working on all those upgrades you were talking about. He's opting to skip blink, going straight into charge, so just like that, like he's kind of relatively even with his opponent, but Maples is still trying to find something he has to do. He has to achieve something with all these blink stalkers.
Yeah, and I think MCanning is taking the right choice. He knows that Maples is the guy who loves to mass stalkers, and which is the counter of that army composition: Immortals, Zealots. These are the better units to get the stalkers, and now the adepts are gonna attempt to kill a couple probes, but MCanning is just too good. He knows how to defend and when to defend.
Exactly, he had some zealots there to defend alongside the shield battery. Maples still trying to find a way in. Meanwhile, MCanning just on top of his upgrades +2, almost already halfway done. Jesus Christ, I didn't realize how far ahead his Forge upgrades were. And yeah, we're both just kind of chilling here, and oh my god. I love it.
Yeah, and I don't know how much. I think it's only +1 for Maples.
Yep.
And the stalkers are gonna try to poke a little bit. Unfortunately, MCanning, because of that observer, he already knows every time the stalkers are getting into the third base, and he knows that the warp prism that's coming into his main is just an hallucination because of the observer. So everything is very well set up. for McCanning's defense.
Yeah, and even the Void Rays coming into play. Like, MCanning doesn't even have to split off his army, even if that was a real War Prism. As War Prism does get taken out, MCanning, he doesn't fall for it. He doesn't get tricked by any of these hallucinations. His focus is still on the main army, and he gets a 4th.
Yeah, finally, that observer is gonna be sniped. No, actually, no. Oh my god. Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh my god, and look at this round.
Oh my
no.
God. Maplez, he's in such a
What is
rough
happening?
place. The force fields are being thrown down, and MCanning, he's just going to surround and catch this all.
Yeah, at least he's gonna be able to catch the Oracle, and he's gonna be able to get away also. But damn, that was such a nice attempt from McCanning. And now he's on the chase. He knows that he's got the better army supply. He's got the better army composition. He's just going for the kill.
Yeah, exactly. There's nothing stopping MCanning. He takes down the proxy pylon. He's continuing to chase down this army, and mate, he just doesn't want the army. He wants to just keep going across the map.
Yeah, and everything's happening again. Deja vu. He doesn't have the production to keep up with the army supply of McCanning. McCanning simply has too much, and now he already identifies the army composition of Maplez. He's like, you only got stalkers? Let's go. Let's go for the beautiful A-click. I'm an NA Protoss. I gotta make this happen.
Let's go. Exactly. We have a couple of DTs to defend, but the detection comes in for MCanning. It is here to help deal with all of these DTs. The Void Rays coming in, prismatic alignment. The boys are being forced off the line, but they're just dying immediately. And mate, this Maplez almost has nothing left.
Yeah, even if McCanning loses the army, because he lost so many probes and the third base, there's no turning back for Maplez. This is already the checkmate move from McCanning, because he already has 4 bases. He can reestablish another army, but Maplez cannot do that. Unluckily for him, I think this is over, and he's just trying to pull up the best moves ever possible to see if he can at least get an immortal. But oh my god, this is just so over.
Exactly, and GG, good luck gets called as MCanning takes his first series of DreamHack North